You know that was real.
Hi, my witches and norms. Welcome to WitchDarkTales podcast. We are your host. I'm Moon Witch.
Miguel.
And within today's podcast, we are actually going to be talking about haunted places in Modesto.
Modesto.
Yeah, because a lot of people's been leaving comments. And so I thought, why not help Modesto out and find haunted places, right?
Yeah.
So we've been doing a lot of videos on TikTok, and we're here to talk about it for YouTube and also the podcast. But before we get into the video, views discretion is advised. Everything we talk about is just pure speculation and also strong adult languages. But with that being said, let's get straight into the podcast. Let's get straight into the podcast.
That's good.
The first haunted place in Modesto is called McHenry Mansion. It's on 906 15th Street, and it's older than the McHenry Museum. And from what I found out was that the museum and the mansion is a whole different place. One is the museum for Modesto, and the other one's just a mansion that was owned by a different owner at the time.
That's two different places?
Yes. So the story from what I read was that it was haunted by a doll. So this person went to go do a tour there at the house. They were like, the guy was like, oh my God, that doll looks uneven. They should fix it. Him and a whole bunch of people that was there for the tour and the tour guide walked out. They heard something fall. And when they heard something fall, they went back to go check. Guess what it was?
What?
The doll. So allegedly it's haunted. And then people even said that they heard noises throughout the whole house. And also there was a cellar under there. But I'm like, how did you hear that all the way from within the house of the cellar? From what we read. But do you think it's haunted?
I mean, suspicious. I feel like anything to do with a doll is just scary.
The muñecas?
The muñeco.
So, off topic, we do have a haunted mansion here, but it's been demolished. It's called the Wolf Manor. And it's allegedly haunted too. From my story that I heard was that there was a nurse used to mistreat the patients, right?
Yeah.
And then they did a Halloween tour guide years after the place was shut down, and it became like a Halloween house. So when they were doing a tour, one of the nurses that actually was allegedly, mistreating the patient came back, and she went around the tour, but she never went inside the house. She stood in the front entrance. And then she said, well, and I quote, please, all the spirits that I've done wrong, please forgive me. And she stood at the door crying, and then she left. She never went inside the mansion.
Wow.
We talked about that on our other podcast. Yeah. Everything will be linked in the description box below. Scary, huh?
It's very scary.
So if you guys are from Modesto, let us know. Do you think that the McHenry Mansion is haunted? Or was this just another urban legend in Modesto, California? Let's move on to our next story.
So another Modesto haunted place is actually a shop.
Ooh.
And this shop used to be a former funeral home. So our story goes is this place is located in 1219 7th Street. And the owner, Dana Waters, bought the building 5 years ago. The funeral home had only closed 3 months before, and Waters said when they moved in, there was still ashes on the ground near where the crematorium had been. It was shortly after moving in, her employees began experiencing stuff and recordings, paranormal phenomena. Yeah.
So it was a funeral home before it became a shop.
Yeah, so it used to be a funeral home, and then that one closed down, and then a few months later, the owner Dana decided to buy the house.
I didn't know. I knew of the shop, obviously. It's like known. So I just thought it was just, now this place is like a Halloween store where you go buy makeup, like costume designing, for like Halloween stuff. But after finding out that it was a funeral home, I'm pretty sure it's allegedly haunted.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's the bodies buried on there.
Allegedly. Allegedly. And then we're going to show you guys a video. This video was actually posted on Facebook from the worker. They were recording it, watching it late one night. And let's watch it.
Wow. You know that was real.
Dude, but how did it fall?
Doesn't tell you.
How did it fall?
I don't know.
Well, I looked it up too because I always like Google stuff. They said it was a candle, and we're gonna put it right here somewhere on the screen. But it's a candle. It's a red and like one of those Virgin Mary candles, but instead it's for like the Halloween stuff. And I guess it fell and it knocked over. And when I see things fall down, I know for sure it's haunted. And did you guys see how within the video, the tag was moving a little bit, and next thing you know, the candle went.
Yeah, it wasn't just like a small fall, like, whoop.
Yeah,
It's when I say like fluke.
Telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, drop down a comment. Let us know. Do you guys believe that the Daydream and Nightmares shop is haunted? And then, is this video proof that it is paranormal activity there? Do we have any haunted shops here? We've heard about like restaurants and clubs and schools.
But shops, I don't think so.
Well, have you ever heard of the place called Brass Unicorn? And we're not sponsoring that place, but it's a new age store. It's where they sell crystals, like spell books and tarot cards and so on. I wonder if it's haunted over there.
Maybe. Should we investigate?
Uh-huh. We're going to look deep down into it. We're going to find out if you guys are haunted. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, let's move on to our next story. That was scary.
So another Modesto haunting that I found is a trail, a bikeway trail, and it's called the Dry Creek Trail. This trail is 4.5 miles from La Loma Bridge to Claus Road. And this place is haunted because people have experienced paranormal activities there. But there's actually two different stories to this. One story is that it's a Native American spirit who haunts the place and watches over the joggers. Another story is that a young man possibly jumped over the bridge located in that trail and passed away.
That's so sad. And this is obviously, we don't know if it's true because it's urban legend. So this might be just an urban legend.
So might be an urban legend, yeah. Yeah, because we tried investigating, see the story about the young man who passed away, but nothing has popped up.
So if you guys know anything, drop down a comment and let us know. We're not from Modesto, so these are just urban legends and histories that we did. And again, we don't know if it's true or not. Only y'all would know.
Yep.
Which is
Let us
crazy.
know.
Because we know our urban legends and haunted histories here. You know? That is crazy. So, off topic, what do you think, why do you think he jumped off? You think it was like self-unaliving?
I think you're saying something like out of love or just like maybe he fell for somebody or maybe something happened that he just decided to just unalive himself.
Like the singer, High School. Remember that story? Again, check the description box below. We talked about it. It was like related to Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Which is sad. Love is a beautiful thing, but if you're falling in love so hard and you try to unalive yourself, just for what? And I'm not judging nobody, but I'm like, what? If like, why would you do that?
I mean, you'll hurt, of course, but eventually, you will find somebody new who appreciates you and you appreciate them.
True. Well, let's move on to our next story because I'm already scared with these urban legends from Modesto. Well, haunted places of Modesto, California.
No post wow.
No post wow. I guess. So this next story for haunted places in Modesto is called Highway 132, and it's actually a story written on Facebook from a Hmong user. Well, there's a community for Hmong haunted stories, and we're not stealing your story. We are giving you credit right now. So I just want to let y'all know that.
So how long is the story?
The story's hella long, so I'm just going to tell y'all the Cliff Note version. The story was, there was this person who was from another town, and they came to Fresno to pump gas. And then they went to Modesto, and they spent time with their family and friends. Well, it started getting late, right? And as soon as it started getting late, the person was like, again, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. The person was like, well, I'm going to get back into my car and drive to San Francisco to drop off the product because that's where the journey was supposed to be. And so they got in the car, went to pump gas, started driving on Highway 132 in Modesto, California. And as they were driving, they saw this lady with long black hair with the hood, and she had a red shirt and some jeans. So she looked over. She's like, why is someone walking over here? She didn't think nothing of it. She kept on looking, and the person looked about 40 years old. And so she was like, okay, let me just, keep going. Past an hour or maybe less, she saw the same person. And she looked at the rearview mirror. That person was still walking. And she said, what? Why did I see that person again? Realized that when she stopped the car to look, she thought she saw someone behind her van. Because she was in a van. I'm sorry. She was driving a van. I am so sorry. She was in a van. She stopped because she saw the rearview mirror. And she looked back. She saw someone standing behind her van, which she stopped to see. And then she got freaked out. She took off and she just kept on going.
Wow.
And that is the story of Haunted Highway 132 in Modesto, California. And then here's the crazy part. Someone left a comment in a TikTok video saying that they used to have a board that count how many people passed away on the highway.
How many people passed away?
A lot. It was over 400. And this was
wow.
back in 19 something. So imagine now if they would still have the sign. And then from my friend who's her name is Dee, she's also a telescory. She's a podcaster, and her podcast is called Tell a Scary Story. I'll leave the link in the description box below. She told us that Lost Lake also had a sign that when people pass away for drowning, that they were counted. But I'm like, who would count? And mind you, wouldn't that kind of trigger people? I wouldn't want to see people passing away. That's sad.
Well, when I went to Tennessee for a while.
You went to Tennessee?
Yeah, I went to Tennessee because Monk wanted to go. I was like, okay.
Oh,
He was planning to live over there, but it didn't work out. But anyways, so when I went over there, actually there's a lake over there too, and it shows how many people passed away too. And it was like over 400 people they say that drowned.
That's so sad. That's so sad.
So I feel like maybe it's a normal thing.
I don't think that's normal, but maybe just to keep track, I guess.
Probably.
And we're not being insensitive here. We promise.
Maybe it's also like a way to be careful because these people passed away. We don't want you to pass away either.
Well, we went to Kingsburg. We went to Kings River, and what was that town? It was me, you, Sophia, and Dee. Do you remember we went to go see that river? And there was a sign that says, "If you see anybody in the water, don't jump in." So I'm like, how are you not gonna jump in and help them?
Because you guess can probably pass away.
Or what if it was actually like a spirit pretending to be in the water drowning, pretending to be your friend? I heard stories of like that too.
Really?
Some guy said that he went to Kings River, which again I'm blacking out from what town we went to go see it at. To be honest, was it River? Was it a Riverside River Park? We went over there, and some guy left a comment under the video saying, "I went to Kings River, and my friend told me that when I saw somebody in the water, and it was my friend, so I ran over there. But then when he turned around, his friend was right behind him, saying, 'Where are you going?' And he goes, 'Well, I saw you in the water drowning.' And he was like, 'I'm right here. What are you talking about?' So what if it was spirits who can pretend to be people?
Wow, that's scary.
That's scary.
That is scary.
I can't say his name because that's his business. Thank you. I knew I was going to use that story sometimes. That's scary, isn't it? Have you ever known anybody that passed away from drowning?
My dad used to go fishing right there outside the Kings River. But it was right there, I think it was called Witten Park. It's close to Avocado Lake.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he would always go fishing there. And I remember this one time, I guess somebody was swimming across the river. That person didn't pass away, but after we left, we heard a story that another person passed away that same day that we were at.
And it was them instead of him. Have you ever drowned? Well, obviously, like you came back out of the water, but
Only one time I almost drowned, but
do you remember the feeling?
yeah, yes, everything was just turning dark. I
Yeah,
guess.
for me, it was I was younger, and I remember I jumped into the water, and I started going like this, and all I saw was blue, and I could see like the sun, and I could see everybody just looking down at me like that. And it wasn't dark for me, but obviously it was darker. Like the peripheral view, it was like dark down here, but up here I remember I can see. Like right now I can see it too. I remember look up into the sky. I saw in the water. I looked up and I saw the sun. People looking down, and it was just like water waves. Yeah.
Yeah, drowning is scary.
Yeah, Johnny is scary, and it feels like you're running out of breath, but you're like swallowing water. I don't know if that makes sense. We're not trying to make y'all go experience it. You know, views discussion is advised.
Yeah, and then where I was drowned was actually Avocado Lake.
That's where unalivings happen.
I was a kid. I barely learned how to swim, and I was like, being a big boy, going a little deeper, but I guess I couldn't.
I heard off topic. I heard stories when people jump into the water, like they don't know how to swim, so the uncle throws them in there. I don't know if it's true, but
But
it was just
luckily,
like to teach them how to swim, you know.
but luckily, my dad's friend, which we haven't heard from him for a long time, he actually the one that saved me.
Oh well, thank you. We're giving you a shout out. You saved someone's life, and this is the purpose. Love that. Love that. But I felt like the reason why I wanted to talk about Modesto was because we didn't technically conquer Fresno, but more of like we are being seen over there. And so that's amazing because haunted places and scary stories and urban legends bring people together. I mean, even though it's haunted and scary, the fact that it actually brings, this sounds very weird, but joy, I guess you can say. And I'm all for it, you know? Connection.
Definitely.
Huh?
Definitely.
Well, before we end the podcast, what did you learn today about Modesto, California, and its hauntings?
There's a lot of stories that, we still trying to experience or trying to find out. And, I feel like Modesto stuff can be related to Fresno stuff too.
I feel like Modesto and Fresno is kind of similar. I don't know if that makes sense because it is a small city, but it's big. You know? And then for me, when I found out about the Dry Creek, I said, whoa. And then with the Highway 132, the fact that they did have signs, and now that you said Tennessee and also other places, I'm like, I can't believe people are really keeping track of people who passed away. You know? But, well, thank you guys for watching our podcast. We'll see you guys next Sunday for video, and then for Mondays will be audio. But with that being said, before I do end this, hold on. Before I end this, drop down a comment and let us know what other places you want us to talk about, because we read the comments, even the bad ones. I know, right? We get more bad than good, but I'm not gonna say that. But drop down a comment and let us know, and well, thank you guys for watching. Blessed be.
Bye.
Bye.